Welcome back to Theresa.is.Dead. My name is Theresa and I'm very much alive. And if you're new here, welcome. I have an awful garbage mouth, and if you're not into that or weird shit in general, then this is not the place for you. Feel free to exit the video here. No harm, no foul, but I'll remember our time fondly. If you want to jump straight to the overall review of the product, I'll leave a time code down below. Feel free to jump ahead. Guys, I'm just gonna cut to the fucking chase here because I don't even know. The other day I was at work and John decided to come over to my desk and asked me a couple of things. And by a couple of things, it was mostly work-related questions about QED reports and, you know, right on top of that, Rose and all that good shit. And at the end of the conversation, he says to me,
I really want to ask your opinion about something.
Now, if you're not familiar with John or any of my stories, one, hi, my name is Theresa, I'm a garbage person, but I tend to, you know, just talk about things that are kind of going on in my life or things that I observe and blah, blah, blah. So I'm gonna actually link the last John video that I have of him where he asks my opinion on something and the disastrous results that has happened, So with that said, I held my breath because I had no idea what the fuck he was about to ask me. And so what I'm about to tell you guys is true. It's 100% true. I wish I was making this up. I truthfully, honestly wish I was making this up. So I kind of probed John a little further. I said, you know, what do you need my help with?
I was thinking about having a surgery done.
Oh, what kind of surgery?
Well, it's more of an elective surgery.
So now I'm trying to think, like, physically he looks fine. He just has glasses. So I was thinking, oh, maybe he's talking about LASIK. No.
I have a micropenis.
You know, I thought shitting your pants, you know, I thought that is the lowest of the low. No, we could go lower. I didn't really know what to say to him, so I kind of just kind of stared at him, and I just had to make sure that my mouth wasn't completely wide open because it was just like this. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about having it done. My doctor kind of talking me into it. I have a very, very small penis. And so, I don't know, I'm debating on whether or not I should have it done.
So for the next 5 minutes, he literally told me everything that has to be done during this surgery, which is probably something that I could never unhear of ever again. And it will haunt me until the day I die. But long story short, he was really curious to ask me my opinion on whether or not he should have a bigger dick. I'm going to say that again because I think it bears repeating. He wanted to know my opinion on whether or not he should have a bigger dick. My eye is twitching, and I hope you saw that, because I don't understand why people ask me shit like that. Thankfully, before I can even give him a response, my phone rang. And I was so happy that it did, because then I didn't have to answer his question. So I was like, oh, sorry, John. I picked the phone and I just started talking. Turned out the person on the line, it was a wrong number, but I didn't care. I just kept talking because I just wanted John to get the fuck away from my desk. So with that said, I'm gonna leave this to you. By the way, those fucking poor girls. Oh my God, the people that he must date. Holy shit. Okay. Sorry, I got sidetracked there. If you think he should have a bigger penis, hashtag pretzel dog. If you don't think he should have a bigger penis, hashtag pig in a blanket. Not joking. Literally, leave it down below. Okay. So, needless to say, the rest of the day, I avoided him like the fucking plague because there are no words for that. I need to stop being so friendly. So that was my day. How was yours? On today's video, we're going to be talking about the Tarte Face Tape Foundation. And before I give you my overall thoughts, let me read you a little bit about the product. Face Tape Foundation retails for $39. Inspired by our iconic Shape Tape Concealer, this long-wearing full-coverage foundation mattifies, hydrates, and brightens your appearance. We've bottled up your skin-smoothing filters, selfie settings, and Instagram feedback to create the foundation of your dreams. Plus, this baby comes in 50 shades with 5 undertones. Long-wearing, full coverage with a natural matte finish, transfer-proof, waterproof, and sweat-proof to keep you flawless through work and play. Snow mushroom extract, apple fruit extract, and hyaluronic acid hydrate and brighten appearance. Pair with Shape Tape Contour Concealer for double the perfection. So before I go into my overall thoughts, I do want to point out the elephant in the room. You know, I think when this came out last year, this was quite disastrous. It was probably one of the worst things I've ever seen in fucking makeup ever. One, it was a shit product, and two, they completely ignored a huge group of people, and that's not cool. And especially now, it's fucking 2019. It's like, come on, guys. Like, what the fuck? Like, no. Now, with that said, I think Tarte was pretty much canceled last year. I honestly feel that if Tarte came up with the cure of cancer, people would just like, cancel. When I saw this on Trend Mood, I was like, oh no. I was like, not again, but at the same time, I really want to see this train wreck happen. But I did notice that, okay, one, they're improving the formula. They realize that their formula sucked. They're making it better. And they're releasing a shitload of more shades. Now it's 50, which is way better than I believe the initial launch was like 18 shades, which is like, I shudder in fear thinking about it. So with that said, I was curious to try it, but at the same time apprehensive and really didn't give a fuck because I feel like for me, Tarte is inconsistent. Even regardless of the Shape Tape fiasco and all that stuff, Tarte is not consistent with their shit. They're just not. I feel like for every one good product, there was at least 7 bad ones. So I really wanted to kind of try this on my own to see if I like it or not. And shit, I'm always up for dogging a foundation. So on that note, I do want to say, if you truly feel that they're canceled and you don't really give a fuck about this product, I get it. I understand. I hope you enjoyed my micro penis story. And if you want to check out, feel free. I love you. But I am a true Hufflepuff, and I believe in giving second or sometimes third chances to some things. And I really feel that, you know what, they are trying to make it right. Whether it's too late or not, you know, I think that's everyone's kind of their own opinion. But I really do admire the fact that they're trying. And at least on initial launch, releasing 50 shades, I think that's pretty good because I feel like that's the new normal now. So I picked up this foundation in Ulta, and when I first got there, I noticed there was a huge display, right? And it had all the different kind of shade ranges. Of course, since I am a fucking piece of loose leaf paper, I only stuck with the light shades. So I'm going to actually insert a hand swatch here of what the shades look like on my hand. And initially when I purchased the foundation, I actually got an 18B, which in hindsight was actually way too dark, but I felt like I couldn't find anything lighter. Like I think everything that I was pulling, for whatever reason, it looked like I either had jaundice, fucking pouring white out on my face. A sales associate approached me and she was very sweet and she asked me if I wanted to get a shade match, and I was like, you know what? Yes. And in hindsight, I'm glad that she did because I would have went home with something that was way too dark and that would have just fucking not looked good on me. So she did half of my face with the 14 each, which was on this side, and then she did the 18B on this side of my face. And I left the store like that, which by the way, the sales associate was really nice, and I told her about my channel. So if you are watching this and you helped me, hi, you were really nice. Hope you come and find my weird channel. Anyway, now I'm going to insert a picture of me awkwardly standing around in TJ Maxx killing time before lunch. There you go. I noticed right off the bat that one, I actually didn't have any primer on my face and I didn't set my face with anything. After walking out of the store, one, I noticed that both of the foundations actually started to oxidize. And then I also noticed that they were both settling into my lines ASAP and they were enhancing all my pores and texture. And I don't really even have texture yet. I felt like every little bump on my face, it was enhancing. And I didn't like that. So I feel like, you know, this foundation with no primer or anything looks like shit. I was immediately not a fan of trying this foundation. It made me look dusty and old and dry, and it just looked like if you were to put your finger on my skin, I would immediately turn into dust and I'd be dead. Like that's what I looked like. So when I came home, the first thing I did was wash the shit off my face, moisturize like a motherfucker, apply some silk canvas, and then use both a sponge and a brush to apply this foundation. So I actually used the Japanese sponge, which I think is actually becoming my favorite sponge. I love this little guy. So on this side, I used a sponge, and on this side, I used a brush, but it kind of canceled out because I didn't like how it looked with the brush. I don't know, it just didn't look right. So I kept going over it with a sponge, and I think it looks a lot better now. With primer, I have to say that this foundation looks a hell of a lot better. It doesn't look as dusty or cakey on me now, but it still does settle into my fine lines, which is incredibly problematic, especially for a foundation that I've only been wearing for a few hours. It's not like I've been wearing this all day. I can understand if I've been wearing this for like more than 8 hours and it's settling into lines, I get it. But within the first few hours, I shouldn't be able to see clear little lines right here. That's crazy. And I also use my hydrating concealer, and I feel like it just kind of canceled it out because I think I may have brought the foundation up a little too high under my eye, so it already set the base there. So I think putting concealer on top of it, I think I just fucked myself with that one. But it didn't help me. If anything, under my eyes look awful, which I will zoom you in right here. It just looks incredibly dry. And then all like my lines are kind of poking out more, especially on this side. Oh God. And up here, you could see all my stress lines so much more clearly, and the lines over here And then I have some near my mouth. This thing is so matte for my skin, it just makes me look really dry. And I have, I would say, normal to dry skin for the most part. And I say dry only in the wintertime. But I feel like up close, I just look so fucking dry and dusty. I don't like it. However, far away, I don't look so bad. From this angle, I think I look pretty nice. I think this foundation looks really wonderful. However, I think when you get close to my face and you see that I look like Father Death, not a fan of that. I don't like when something ages me and dries me out. I feel like my skin is screaming for water. The other claim with this foundation is that it's considered full coverage. And I think for the most part, yes and no. I would say that it's like high medium coverage. For me, not quite full, because I think with the sponge, I'm able to achieve like a nice full coverage with the sponge. However, with the brush, I felt like it was more medium coverage, and then I saw more kind of imperfections and shit poking through. I feel like it should be the opposite. I feel like I should have more sheer coverage with the sponge and more of a full coverage with the brush, but for whatever reason, that didn't happen today. It was the opposite for me. I really do love a foundation that works both for a brush and sponge, but again, it's not the end of the world that it, one looks better than the other. I just think the older I get, the more I'm not into matte foundations. I feel like this foundation is really going to be great for people that have more, like, yes, younger skin, more healthier skin. So if your skin has seen some shit, I don't think this foundation is good for you. It's going to definitely look more like mine, where it looks okay from far away, but up close it can tell you that you've seen some shit. It's very evidently clear, especially in my forehead area, that I have seen some shit in my life. A lot of dicks in the subway, but that's neither here or there at this point. I feel like the other thing that I don't like about this foundation is that it does enhance like a little bit of weird texture and a little bit of like pores, which is unusual because I really like my Tatcha Silk Canvas and I feel like it does the job every time. I've been noticing like more over here that you kind of like see like these weird pockets of like weird texture, like over here. Like looks more bumpy and stuff. I don't know how I feel about that. The other thing with this foundation is that one of the claims is that it's completely transfer proof. That's bullshit. It's not. So ladies and gentlemen, here's some of my foundation that has come off. And yes, I used it on this piece of paper because I'm trashy. I don't give a fuck. With that said, I doubt that this foundation is sweat proof. Granted, I haven't been sweating today because it's cold, but my, fat little body hasn't done anything. But I will definitely make a note or pin a comment down below because I am going to try to test this out while I'm commuting as well. Because that is the true ultimate test at the end of the day. If I'm able to withstand a really hot train car and my face doesn't look like a melted candle, then I know it did its job. So I'll make sure to leave a pin comment down below to let you know any updates that I have with this product. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. It's like in the middle. I think it looks really pretty when applying. I had no issue applying. I thought it actually looked really nice. It felt very comfortable on my skin. I definitely liked it better than the original Shape Tape foundation, even though I know this one has a completely different name or whatever. But I definitely like the formula of this way better initially than the original foundation. I just don't believe the claims of this guy. I definitely don't think it's really hydrating my skin. I think if anything, it's drying out my skin, and I'm not loving that. If you are dry, then I don't recommend this for you at all, because actually I don't even recommend any matte foundation for someone that's dry, because that's just like, you're just asking for fucking trouble there. And I think from now on I need to not get matte finishes, because it's just, the older I get, the more it looks like shit on my skin. Because I think anything with the matte finishes is kind of really just making me look like a fucking handbag. So overall, while I didn't mind how the product applied or anything like that, and I felt that it was nice on my skin, it's not giving me any sort of reaction. I don't like that it oxidized on my skin. I don't like that it's, creating these like weird fucking bumps and like kind of showing some of my pores, even though I'm using a primer that's supposed to hide your pores, which is insane. It's just not pairing well with it. And it's taking my beautiful concealer that hydrates my under eyes and sucking the life out of them. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fucking pass on this. So with that said, I'm just disappointed with this product. It's supposed to hydrate your skin, and yet it's sucking the life out of mine. So I don't understand how that works. In that case, let me know down below how you feel about this product, if you give a fuck about this product, if you're gonna get it, if you have it and you feel differently. Let me know down below. I love to hear from you guys. So on that note, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it as always. Feel free to like, comment, hit that subscribe button, it's free, and hit that bell icon for notification of all my future posts. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and I don't know, just in life. And yeah, I guess that's about it. So I'll see you little pumpkins later. Bye.